Welcome to episode 155 of the Quest Lore series, Monkey Madness 2. To start this quest you must have completed Death Plateau, Troll Stronghold, Enlightened Journey, Watchtower, the Eyes of Gluffery, Tree Gnome Village, the Grand Tree, Monkey Madness 1 and Recipe for Disaster. Despite having Gluff under close surveillance, he has managed to escape the stronghold. Perhaps you can find something in his home. You find a handkerchief with the initials AA embroidered into it, and you go to Anita's house. She's crying, thinking that Gluff might be seeing someone else as she hasn't seen him in a while. She heard a noise in his home and tried to climb as quick as she could, but he was gone. There's an even higher level in Gluff's house. You search the crates and find a brush, and in the fire remains you find a half-burned note. You turn the statue, hearing a clicking sound. In the cupboard you find a book on spycraft and learn a method of writing hidden messages. First you grind a lemon and apply it to the parchment, then hold it over some light heat, like some candles, and the juice of some ripe grapes is brushed over the parchment, making the notes visible again. Finding the hidden text, it is written in a strange language. King Narnotarine hands you a translation book, and you ask Anita to complete the translation for you. What's written is, "It took some persuading, but the monk has finally showed me the route. I have managed to find a replacement pilot to fill my post while we are away. At dawn we head to," and the rest of the note is burnt. It appears that Gluff had help escaping. The only pilot that's been released recently is Laurie, who took over LeSmith's post as balloon pilot. She directs you to August, who recently taught LeSmith a very dangerous route that no one had ever attempted to do before, to Ape Atoll. You update the king. Fortunately, the rest of the 10th squad had remained on Ape Atoll after the previous mission to keep a close eye on our Wogge. You are reassigned to go to Ape Atoll and are to report to Sergeant Garkor for further orders. On Ape Atoll, you buy a monkey talisman for 1,000 coins and see Garkor. The 10th squad haven't sighted Gluff on Ape Atoll yet, but there has been a lot of strange activity. Disguised as a monkey, you speak with our Wogge to see if you can find out more information, but he says he only discusses this with his generals. He's meant to be meeting one now, but he's late, so he sends you to get Kruk. Garkor suggests that you make a monkey gree from Kruk's remains so you can infiltrate. One of the monkey archers informs you that Kruk has been leaving his post a lot lately. You find some footprints in the dirt leading down the western ramp, and a bit south of the gnome glider you find a trapdoor to Kruk's dungeon. You make your way around the dungeon, carefully walking around the dodgy ground to not fall down, jumping across some pressure pads and rope swinging across some chasms. You make your way across a large field of dodgy ground, eventually finding a chest with a bronze key in it, unlocking a bronze door before the key snaps. After finding your path and crossing the final obstacles, you reach the last section of dodgy ground where you can investigate the wall and find a hidden passage to the entrance, memorizing its location so you can quickly access the end of the dungeon whenever you need. You can flinch Kruk on a corner and then you get his paw. You make your way to Zooknok at the end of the Ape Atoll dungeon, and he makes the Kruk monkey gree. Now disguised as Kruk, you go back to our Wogge and learn that the monkeys are planning a freeway assault with an alliance between the ogres and the trolls. Plus they're working on a new fleet of battleships and are also developing a secret weapon. You update Garkor on their plan. Now you have to try to convince the trolls and the ogres not to join the monkeys. At the troll stronghold you try to persuade Cobb not to attack the humans alongside the monkeys and challenge him to a duel. If you win, they'll call off the attack, and if they win, they will attack the humans. Just before he dies, he calls off the attack, and then you make your way to Gutenov and pay the ogre guard 20 coins so you can jump over the bridge and speak to Chief Keith. Once again you ask him to end his alliance with the monkeys and challenge him to a duel to the death. With that, the ogres are no longer in alliance with the monkeys too. You update Garkor. In the meantime, he's heard that LeSmith has appeared on Ape Atoll. You explore until you find him. As you're disguised as the monkey general, he reveals that the fleet of airships are being built off the coast of Ape Atoll. So now you've got to find where the airships are and destroy them if possible. On the western side of the island you find a monkey guard near a rowboat. He takes you to the platform and you make your way around a maze of crates, avoiding the line of sight of the monkey guards. Climbing and descending ladders until you find a crate with satchels, which you then fill 6 of them with gunpowder from a barrel. Then you find some compromised floorboards, a compromised support and a gas cylinder, and you strap down the satchels of explosives on them before leaving, bringing down the entire platform, escaping from the explosion as you row away. You update Garkor saying that you've destroyed the airships. Unfortunately, he has found in Kruk's dungeon a secret facility where they're developing a secret weapon, protected by a magical barrier. Back in the dungeon, in monkey form, you swing across the monkey bars above the pit of spikes, and find a small crevice. Inside is a laboratory with demonic gorillas. You climb on one of them and make your way down the stairs. As the experiments have broken out of their cage again, Gluff tells you to get them back under control before they destroy any more of his work. So you fight the tortured gorillas until they go back into their cage. Gluff's been working on a mutagen which allows for control over the creatures. Whilst keeping them aggressive enough to tear anything apart that stands in their way, he thinks he's found the right balance, but he wants to carry out some final tests. He doesn't currently have a huge army, but once he makes the mutagen airborne, he will unleash it on all of Ape Atoll. All that's missing is for the mutagen to infuse its power with the charged onyx gems. Gluff goes out to look for Assistant Smith. You tamper with the device and remove the gem from the glowing orb. You use a chisel and a hammer to deconstruct it, and the flow of energy is inverted, reversing the effect of the mutagen. You then investigate the incubation chambers, and it seems that the mutagen has been successfully corrupted. You then update Garkor and Awawoge on how their plan is failing. The trolls and the ogres have backed out of the alliance, the fleet of airships will not be ready for the attack, and the secret weapon mutagen has been compromised. Just as Awawoge calls off the attack on the mainland, an explosion happens. There was still an airship. Gluff and Smith set course for the Grand Tree to end this once and for all. You update King Narnode, warning him that Gluff is coming on an airship with demonic experiments. You talk to Neve, saying that you need her assistance in fighting the demonic gorillas. The airship crashes north of the Grand Tree. You defeat 4 tortured gorillas and go north of the breach. Gluff sets the tortured gorillas who can switch attack styles against you and Neve. After you defeat them, he takes a sample of the mutagen for himself and he kills Neve, leaving the dust of the Elysian Spirit Shield. Then you fight him in 3 phases. After a long and heroic battle, you defeat Gluff, and the cave starts collapsing, so Zooknok teleports you out. You tell him that Neve couldn't make it, but Gluff is no longer a problem. You update King Narnode too. King Awawoge wants to set up an agreement of peace between Ape Atoll and the mainland. Awawoge thanks you for foiling Gluff's plans. There is now a glider route to Marin, and you can get a bonus XP reward from Duke, the head of the Ape Atoll Guard. You are rewarded with 80,000 Slayer, 60,000 Agility, 50,000 Thieving, and 50,000 Hunter XP. You now have access to the demonic gorillas, and are given a Royal Seed Pod to teleport to the Grand Tree. 2 bonus sets of 50,000 XP in a combat skill of your choice, except Prayer, are given after some intense training with Duke. Join me next time where I'll explain the lore behind Dragon Slayer 2.